You can breathe and try to struggle through this, or you could not breathe, and whatever the consequence of that is, but either way is going to be just fine. We'd probably like to think we're going faster than we would, but it was probably a defendable, honest 50, 60 miles an hour around that corner. And I remember seeing the rock. It maybe stuck up 5-6 inches. I was sitting down, should have been standing up. It happened really fast, but equally slow. I remember the impact, and I remember it hitting my back, and I had fractured vertebrae in my back prior to that, so I kind of knew what that felt like. And I came up and I was drifting off the bike, and a couple thoughts went through my mind. Oof, that hurt. This might be bad. But I also remember the handlebars being yanked out of my hand, but I was slowly drifting away from the bike. So I think the front suspension probably took most of it, but the back, it kicked pretty good. I remember floating away and reaching for the handlebars. A very vivid thought. I can remember reaching for the handlebars and thinking, I think I got this. I think I'm going to grab the bars, and I might be a flying W, but I'm going to land back on the bike and close call, and everything's going to be fine. And then I remember nothing visual, but I remember audio. I remember the sound of sand and motorcycle revving, and I remember steel, and then I remember silence. And when I came to, I could see the bike quite a ways away. I'd wrecked before, but I thought this one's a pretty good one. And a couple things concerned me. Nothing hurt. There just wasn't any pain. And thinking that's problematic. And laying there and thinking, okay, I just kind of got to assess and check the right leg, the left leg. You go through the self-assessment. I'd done all that. Then the pain just slowly started creeping in, and I realized I might be in trouble here because I'm having problems moving. And then lost consciousness again, kind of.
And what body position are you in at this point?
Fetal, laying on my side. I'm not sure I was sucking my thumb, but I felt like I probably should have been. I don't know how long I laid there, but I kind of remember coming in and out of it a couple times. I remember panic setting in because there was something missing. I recognize it's breathing. I'm not breathing. We've all knocked our breath out. You know how panicky that could be, but this was different. There was something really bad about this, and I thought, okay, calm down, continue the assessment, and it'll come. When you knock your breath out of yourself, it'll come, and it just wasn't coming. Struggled with that for a little bit, and then I got to a point where I started to get lightheaded, and I wasn't sure from the bump on the head or if it was from not breathing, and I kind of felt like it started to become maybe okay not to breathe. It became so difficult that, and I don't want to get into hippy-dippy, weird spiritual stuff, but there was a overwhelming feeling that either choice is okay. You can breathe and try to struggle through this, or you could not breathe, and whatever the consequence of that is, but either way is going to be just fine. And then thoughts of my sons, and okay, you have to try to breathe. You give it one more good shot, and you push out a little guttural grunt that comes out, and recaptured some breath, and then that went on for quite a while. That